This is a teardown of a Pioneer DVD-RW drive, model DVR-111DBK. It's an old IDE based drive. Fortunately, it does not read discs, and at least for now, these things aren't worth fixing. So, get tear it apart, show what's inside. And being that it's a Pioneer one, I have a feeling it's going to be a little bit more complex, because something about Pioneer and over engineering stuff. Normally I don't bother with tearing these apart for recycling. They do have basically a rate that they sell for scrap. Not being nice to this. Oh, that wraps around the front. Jeez. Here's the little lever for the eject mechanism. These are easier to take apart if you remove the drive tray bezel and then the front bezel. But I'm not taking this apart to fix it. I don't really understand what the point of this is. I don't really think I've ever seen a DVD drive with that bit there like that. And normally this spindle is just held in with a sticker, but there's this little like latch in piece, which is kind of weird. So normally in a drive, I might not be able to get this sticker off. I'll try pulling it a little slower. If I can't even get it. Oh, that's a stubborn label. That's weird. So normally this bit here is just a sticker with a plastic disc under it, so this piece can still spin freely. So yeah, it's a really complicated mechanism. I don't know why. Granted, this is an older DVD drive, so they probably didn't figure out the easier way to make it yet. But this is the top bit that holds the CD down or DVD. There's a magnet in the spindle, so this will stick to it, and that basically holds your disc in place so it doesn't go flying away as it spins real fast. And I think this little ring here is the magnet. There's a rubber pad there around the edges for grip. These tend to degrade over time, and what'll happen is when the drive's closed, this will end up going down on that, and it'll get stuck, and the drive won't be able to open. That's why in some cases banging on your PC will actually open the drive. The other issue that happens is this belt that opens the tray gets wore out, stretched out, dirty, doesn't get good grip. But pop off this front drive motor board. So this is the motor that spins to open and close the tray. A little switch here to tell the position of the tray. Oops. I'm not sure where it hits. Just looking here. It might hit on that. Oh, no. Anyway, it's the gear mechanism. It's in the wrong spot right now. So yeah, it'll push the switch either way, depending on where the tray is. Gotta release this now. And it's just a normal DC motor, not a stepper motor. Not really any reason for it to be a stepper motor, I suppose, with the sensors. Alright, get the brains of the operation loose now. A lot of these are just clipped together. If your time isn't worth anything, in theory you could make more money by taking these apart for scrap, but I don't think this board pays very well, to be honest. And we got an NEC chip, that's the brains of the operation. Got some Hynix memory. I'm going to guess SD RAM. And some expansion storage for the flash. Got another NEC chip, looks like. So the laser's here. So this NEC chip is probably the controller for the laser assembly. You can see this is the laser assembly here. That's plugged into there. And you see how the traces kind of go off to that NEC chip. Not sure what the big NEC chip's doing. I guess it's probably handling the communication with the IDE port and all the other chips. And I would assume this is a motor driver because of the big piece of thermal mass in there. There's a little plate of some sort of metal. And nope. I don't see any legible writing on it, unfortunately. Another component there that's probably doing power stuff. It's an interesting looking IC. Generally, I think if something has a lot of mass, like big pins and stuff like that, it's usually because it's handling a lot of power, and it's using that to dissipate the power or the heat from the power. But yeah, capacitors, electrolytics. This could potentially go bad, I suppose, over time. But hard to say what actually was the issue with this. Alright, let's see how hard it is to get the drive tray out. I'm just looking here. Those 2 points look to be screwed down. The tray should be an assembly. Or not the drive tray, I guess the cage for the CD? I don't know. This is the drive tray. Yeah, so basically when going in and out, this gets lifted up to get the spindle up to the disc, and then the laser within range too. But there's the inner shell, I guess you'd say. And here's all the CD drive bits. Now, realistically, you could run this as is. Although you'd have to trick it into thinking it's closed, otherwise it'd get angry. But yeah, there's nothing stopping you from using this bare frame and just putting a disc in there and having fun. Although supposedly the laser radiation from these lasers isn't safe for your eyes, so probably not something you'd want to do. It'd be fun. Let's get the laser out. Interesting thing is, the newer the drive gets, the more this gets simplified. Like this laser is way more complicated than some of the newer ones you'd see. There's a giant stepper motor, or not giant. There's a stepper motor with a giant gear that pushes us back and forth. But here's the laser assembly. You switch bits, any number 0 Phillips. Take off the shielding. Wow. Yeah, this is a lot more complex than I'm used to seeing. Nice cast aluminum assembly with all these mirrors and prisms. Might even be real glass. So laser looks to be right there, and it's shooting through, and then it bounces back into the sensor right there. And that looks to be clipped on. I think, ouch, pokey. I'm trying to just pry this off. Probably should switch to a flathead screwdriver in all honesty. I do wonder with these things if they were assembled by hand or how much of this was done by robots. These are very intricate. Oh. And it's pretty old. Oh, let's try to rip up the label. Oh well, I don't know how old it is without referring to the beginning of the video. Right. There's the little sensor. Won't focus. That sees the laser beam bounce back at it. And this is on like a little floaty carrier thing that's managed like with electromagnetic field, I believe for focusing purposes, also to absorb vibration. See if we can get more of this PCB out. Also, there's various pots on there for adjusting things. I would assume the intensity of the laser and then focusing purposes. Might not be able to get this PCB out. The laser is mounted with a screw that I don't have. Oh, I might be able to get it from the back side actually. Find the right bit. Looks like a really weird hex head screw, but nope. It's just screwed in through the bottom. Well, it's still attached. Well, this screw might be holding it as well. There's going to be a time in the future where someone's crazy enough to actually fix one of these. Probably do some really fancy work trying to fix a DVD drive. I think we're almost at that point with floppy drives, at least some of the rarer ones. Here's the lens. Removed from its mount. Suspended on little wires. Don't know how to get this part further. You can see the two neodymium magnets along that side of that hole where the lens was. Yeah, I can't get the focus, it's too small. But it doesn't look like I can get this down any further. The little prisms and pieces of glass are kind of fun. But either way, hopefully that was interesting and thanks for watching.